Hey, what's up, you guys? In this episode of People of Yu-Gi-Oh, we're going to be talking about the solitaire players. What does that mean? Let's find out. So these are the players who love to not play Yu-Gi-Oh, is what I call it. These players play what at my locals we call solitaire decks. Basically, these are degenerate decks that, rather than explain, let's give some examples. Chain Burn, Exodia, Empty Jar, Stall, like Final Countdown. These decks. Now I know I'm gonna get flack in the comments. Well, there are multiple win conditions in Yu-Gi-Oh, so if somebody wants to win another way, then there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, but see, the issue with that is people usually go into these tournaments when they play these decks and you're like Chain Burn or Exodia or Final Countdown, whatever. They play them with malicious intent. I mean, these people are basically playing. I get like trolling once or twice, but some of these people like when you the only deck you've like ever played is Chain Burn or like Final Countdown, and you really like consider that your main deck. I feel like that. Learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. It's like at that point, one of my friends said, at that point it's like you don't really care about playing Yu-Gi-Oh or getting good at Yu-Gi-Oh or enjoying Yu-Gi-Oh or even really like winning. You just want the win on your record. I don't really like understand that. I mean, I get it, there are different kinds of decks you can play, different win conditions, blah blah blah. Not everything has to be about swarming or whatever, control. But that really makes Yu-Gi-Oh boring for everybody else. And not boring, just frustrating. I mean, I know dominant decks like dragons or, stuff like that, mermaids when they were in their prime, windups in their prime, stuff like that, were annoying to face, and so sometimes you had to resort to that kind of stuff. But, I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh is going to be Yu-Gi-Oh. I feel like you should just learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Don't just play decks like that. Those aren't fun. I really don't feel like they're fun to even use like yourself. I mean, I've used some of that stuff like on Dueling Network, and I don't really enjoy it. I mean, I feel like I'm just kind of cheating for the win. And solitaire decks to me extend beyond just those 3 or 4 decks. I mean, it's also there was one guy at my locals. He knows exactly who he is if he sees this video. There's one guy at my locals, and he played Necro Valley. This was a couple of months back, so before the most recent ban list. But or the ban. Necro Valley, Macrocosmos. What's that card? Like Gravekeeper Servant, where you have to mill before you can attack. What other hateful cards are there? They're like continuous skill drain, Imperial Iron. It was just so much. Just like he played nothing but hate, and then like triple Barbaros, triple like Doom Cal or something like that. And it was just like, guy, come on. Do you care about like winning at Yu-Gi-Oh, or do you only want to like quote win unquote at Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, come on, grow up, learn how to play, get like decent at this game. You'll enjoy Yu-Gi-Oh a lot more when you actually just play a normal deck and just have to think your way through things instead of just flipping up all these cards. It's not really fun. And it still extends beyond that. Herald of Perfection. Just all these little decks like that. I mean, that's no fun. Who wants to play like Herald of Perfection? You drop it turn 1, just have your 6 fairies in your hand and just sit there. Like, that's wasting everyone's time. That's like wasting your time. If you don't enjoy playing Yu-Gi-Oh, play something else or go and do something. Shit. And furthermore, it extends to players who just play stuff like Evil Swarms or just, like boring old Machina gadgets, just decks. They're just the same old thing. You summon Ophion or whatever, set 5 and say go, and then you just sit there. And you run like 20 traps. Like, learn how to actually make decisions, make plays. Like, it's not all about just whenever your opponent summons something, okay, let's check my 4 back, or they'll flip them up. Oh, let's see what this is. Oh, let's see what this is. Like, come on, learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh. Have some fun. I feel like the game is more fun when you like put your efforts into it, I guess. I don't know. It's not fun when you're just playing solitaire decks. It's boring, it's repetitive, there's nothing to that. Doesn't really say much about you as a player, but I mean, if you want to win that bad, then I guess that's how you have to get it. I try to encourage these players to like play differently, but So what are your opinions on these players? I mean, is it justified to play, quote, solitaire, unquote, decks, or would you encourage people to kind of diversify and play different things? I'd go with the latter. But leave your thoughts in the comments, as always, down below. Don't know what that is. And if you enjoy this video, like it, favorite it, share it, subscribe, wherever that is. And check me out on social networks, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, trying to get followers on those. And I will see you guys next year. Hope you enjoyed. Later.